except the mount for the mount and the PU. It just slides on. Again, got a mount PU for this, but it's buried in the man cave. This impressed the Germans very greatly, and they grabbed everyone they captured and pressed them into service. This, together with the PU scope, led them to the development of the WW2, which was a failure. However, that led on to this, the ZF-41, and the ZF-4 scope. You'll see this on this rifle and also on one of the machine guns, the para machine gun, which is designation eludes me for the moment. The sight's great, same principle, fairly wide field of view, adequate magnification, very easy to zero, robust, relatively cheap to manufacture. The scope was successful, the rifle was less so. It's just too fragile. It's got a lot of very, very small parts, they're not particularly robust, and it's very, very easy to lose the parts when you're stripping the rifle. So it's just not tough enough as a service weapon. Okay, kind of the once over lightly gambit of the influences and where the German sniping scene ended up. What I'll do now is we'll just go have a look at the detail of the scope, and we'll talk a little bit about the zeroing and some of the limitations. Okay, let's try and get through this reasonably quickly because, of course, you know how much I love the sound of my own voice. Here's the case. Little catch that holds it all together. The internals, there's a little compartment at the top here which hold the second part of the sunshade as well as the cleaning cloth. Felt lined is also provisioned for a little cleaning brush, which I don't actually have. I think I'll be able to get one aftermarket. So that is affixed to the rear of the scope in this fashion here. Have I got it around the right way? That's right. Now you can see immediately that it is a beautifully engineered piece of kit, even down to these small screws which hold a little locking bar which locks the elevation mechanism. Everything is precision engineered, quality workmanship, quality material. The mount itself has a locking arm, spring-loaded locking arm here, as well as two semi-sprung rollers, and that just slots onto the mount which is braced to the side of the rear sight on the K98. There are extraordinary numbers of markings and stampings, inspection marks, Waffen marks, model marks, you name it. It's every part has been individually stamped. This is the elevation wheel. It takes the sight from 100 through to 800 metres in 50 metre increments. So you've got capacity for reasonably good fine elevation adjustment. It's with respect to deflection that the sight becomes very complicated and a real failure. The sight was factory zeroed with the rifle. If it had to be removed and placed onto another rifle, it required the intervention of a unit armourer or a technical sergeant to effect that deflection change. You had to use 3 separate pins which are inserted into various areas around the forend of the scope, as well as a specialist wrench locked around the front, and in all there are 17 different steps that you have to undertake in order to adjust deflection. So not user friendly at all. The main limitation, however, is it's only half times magnification. The eye relief is so long that when you're looking down, as I mentioned before, it's like looking down a tunnel. You lose your post very, very easily unless you're absolutely rock solid with your cheek weld and the rifle is supported. Looking down, you'll see a freestanding vertical post and basically a split horizontal reticle, and that's all one unit. It elevates and depresses as one unit. But it's impossible to snap shoot with this. It's impossible to acquire targets and hold them if they're moving. It really is a prone supported optic. When you are looking down, it's mounted on the rifle and you're looking down the scope, what you do get is a very restricted field of view, and that kind of forces you to concentrate on your sight picture and on your target. The very small amount of magnification also assists in that respect, and there might be, I couldn't swear to this, there may be some additional light gathering in low light. But it's very much a marksman's optic as opposed to a telescopic sight, and it really failed to deliver results that were sufficiently meritorious to justify the amount of work that had to go into the production of one of these things. And on a final note, if you're looking to acquire one of these, if you've got the right case, the scope is in good condition, correct with all its bits and pieces, you're not going to get any change out of about $1,000. $1,500 roughly, and for one that's absolutely mint, you're probably looking at maybe even $3,000, so they are becoming increasingly desirable as a collector's item.